Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to this Monday series where we invite a special guest who has a unique experience on this journey with Baba. Today we have with us a special guest, Sister Maria from Athens, who has a very successful life on this 84th birth in the cycle. She has been a Olympic gymnast, and she is a very pakka. And getting into Olympics is a big thing, right? And she got all the way through the semis. She won a lot of awards in her own right, in her own field, nationally and internationally. She represented Greeks. Greece is one of the famous. That's where Olympics are started, for that matter. And so we get to hear her own story, like how Baba was helping her before she came to Gyan, and when she came to Gyan, what brought her into Gyan, and how she's sustaining. And now she is holding the fort in the Greece. And most of you know about Brother Anthony. There is no BK who hasn't started their journey without listening to that meditation commentary on Link of Love. Everyone started our meditation journey in Rajyoga path through that meditation commentary. You might know or you may not know, but everyone is touched by Brother Anthony. And now she's holding the fort after Anthony Bai left the body in the grace. And it's a very powerful place to be. And without any further ado, I want to invite Sister Maria.
Okay, Om Shanti to all the family, and thank you for the invitation. It's just an honor to be with the family and meet souls from different places with their own unique experiences. Thank you also for the a little bit long presentation, introduction. Yes, of course, it's Baba, and we all unfold our stories, and we put our finger of cooperation, and with everything else, and with the divine sustenance of Abdada and the daddies and all the brothers and sisters who've paved the way, it is possible. And as we say, nothing new, so success is guaranteed. And I was very surprised and not surprised, because Drama is full of wisdom, that for us today in Greece, it's the actual day Anthony left the body 8 years back. And so it's an amazing opportunity to remember this soul even better on this occasion, because he really did support it with a very unique and special way, all the souls in the world, but more specifically here in Greece, where it was his service base. So, yeah, what to say? Drama is unique, and most of you know the format. So many thanks to Harsha also for getting to know him closer with this opportunity, and with his cooperation in assisting the process, very explanatory, and also helping with the slides. So, and I think off we go. I will share some slides with you, and then to a certain extent, at certain points, I will be stopping the slides. So victory is guaranteed. Baba speaks in several murlis about victory, and it's very different from the logic terms. Success starts from inside, and I had to relearn this, because in the world, and myself also had tendency to try to help the world, to try to succeed, and also reveal some of the inner values I didn't know what was inside the body, but I could feel through the sports, coming from a sport family, how there's something else that's working, and how it's easy to overcome the difficulties of the body and the limitations, and go step further each time for something to excel and to make something what we call in Gyan sanskara. And I had this tendency to wish to make the world a happier place, but I couldn't start with peace, because I thought that first it would be making others happy, be happy, and then be peaceful. And in my life then, I didn't have powerful examples that would follow spirituality. And from my logic background also, we didn't believe in God. The background was quite scientific, so I wished to see things with proof. I didn't know that the proof is honesty, and whatever Baba told us in this last Avyak Purli about tapasya and honesty and how they are linked together. So I was driven by a good will, and I was hoping that this good will and good deeds will bring some result. And I didn't believe in God at all. And I can say that I was defaming him, because when I was interviewed in sports, I would also say that we don't know if there is God. So I can't say if he exists. And I can say that the world is in such a situation that maybe he's not there, or he's somewhere I'm not really convinced. And so I had to elaborate, but I was a seeker of silence, and I really did love light. Whenever I would lit candles, whenever I would see the light or a flame, I would be feeling so peaceful. And I decided to get involved with rhythmic gymnastics, because I grew up with my elder brother and also some cousins, all in male bodies. And I was trying to be part of a team. I believed in teams, and I believed in unity. So really, I was making hard efforts to catch up with male power. And when I decided finally to get involved with sports, when I decided to choose a sport, that was the rhythmic gymnastic, because inside me I felt that it's important to demonstrate that female power is also there. And later on, Baba explained to me about the Shakti power, that is also power for all, and irrelative of the body. And we are all Shiv Shaktis and Padavas, and we are all part of an army that's full of virtues that are divinized. So Baba found me in a place. I didn't feel I was looking for Baba, but I was a seeker of truth. And so he found me in a place of dedication to something to bring harmony, to something to remind people that there is grace and beauty and a loving relationship with time, and also the body. And it was quite a three-dimensional sport. So in those days, I remember an experience where Baba helped me and kept on helping me. One coach who taught me a lot about discipline and concentration, she told me that, if you visualize a point when you do this exercise or that balance, or the other drill, physical drill, you will have to feel that you are there. And just visualize a point and you will see it becomes much more easier. And so I did it, and to my surprise, I could not grasp how comes to really do something extremely difficult and yet not feel tired. And that was the way Baba was supporting me at different times, because it was a really long period. It was altogether like 11 years to practice and, to give a lot of time and energy to reach to a level to compete to the Olympic Games. But the story is that I was quite conscientious when I decided to do the sport. And then I was inspired from the Olympic hymn, the Olympic anthem I listened to once. And it was then that I was decided that my dream is to compete in the Olympic Games, because the lyrics of the song, of the actual, it's in Greek and we can listen to it. The lyrics speak about Baba in a way. And in the ancient Olympic Games, people would, before they started anything, they would invoke God, deities, and then they would dedicate themselves and they would represent their nations and everything. And so they would even stop wars and come together. And that was quite a sacred thing. So the lyrics go, and that's the beginning. O immortal spirit of antiquity, father of the true, beautiful and good, descend, appear, set over us thy light upon this ground and under this sky. And more about the elements and the nations. It's something that took me beyond without knowing what beyond is in those days. So I invite you to have an experience of what was driven me to follow further the sports and thereafter, continue the journey that led me to Baba.
So should I play?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it possible? I think it's better you share.
Yeah, sure.
Shall I stop the share from here?
Okay.
Or it will stop automatically? Okay.
So would you like to share, or we can leave it here?
Yeah, you could leave it there. And I think I will have to start the set again, correct?
Sure.
Yes. Thank you. So if I remember, even the Olympic village resembled of Madhuban, and that was a dream that was fulfilled. But yet after that, I had to put myself together to decide to continue, not to continue, and I did for some time. And then, like Daddy Zangi would advise us, what's next, what's next, I could feel that this was not it. There is something else I was looking for. And so I continue a little bit with the gymnastics. And then I felt that I need to work and explore other fields like architecture, and maybe sacred silence is there. And maybe there I can find a way to really stop my thoughts, because you finish one role and we know other roles come up, and I was growing up, and then after I quit I had to adjust and be part of the wider society, and filling the gap I've left in the life, because my choice was not to have a very social life, and I was a little bit of sannyasi. So this sanskara also was like placing a curtain in front of me, so I could not see the real joy of life after quitting gymnastics. And of course, I had this experience of creating. I think it's. I had this experience of setting up goals and managing to succeed, and yet life was tasteless, and I needed to refocus again. So the slides are showing correctly. Next. I will stop and restart the share screen, because
you click on the next slide and then fourth one, fourth slide, and play from current slide.
So in a way, I had to redefine the self and find new ways and new pathways to be more specific in life and more open. And in this picture, the body is about 12 years old, and it was like one of the memories I had, because I was quite sure I would succeed in this. Thank you, Harsha. Harsha, bye. I was quite sure I would succeed in these games, and I had also foreseen the way I would set up and take this photo. So my understanding is that Baba was in a way inspiring me to put the things of the jigsaw puzzle of the drama together, and I did believe in coincidences, and that was my understanding of the drama. I would understand that if I believe in coincidences, the rest will be formatted, and I will have guidelines for what's next. And so, like Father saw the child, I feel that all the big souls, we did have, in one way or the other, the ability to grasp some visions of the future, and in this way, just looking forward for the golden age, and others were looking forward to meeting Baba and very specifically calling Baba. So how unique a family is this? So we are the same ones, and Baba is reminding us quite often. And so I would like to invite you to meditate now on the next slide. We can meditate on this Baba's beautiful statement. You are the same ones of every cycle. Let's see how this feels. I sit quietly and I relax the body. And as I relax the body, I feel comfortable with it. I can easily go to the soul conscious state. Where I make my mind and intellect my friends. And we sit there in stillness. In these sacred moments. I allow myself to be as I am, what I am truly. I light the light of the awareness. I am Baba's child. I am nurtured. I feel secure. I feel free. I feel the way Baba sees me. I go beyond any traits of sorrow of the past. This is the eternal gain. I let go of any guilt or shame. I allow myself to be as Baba sees me. I've been through the whole cycle, different births, different places. I've been part of the history and geography. And now with Baba's light and guidance, I remember this is the confluence stage where Baba found me and invited me in his world. Baba says, you are the same one of every cycle. You are the same one of every cycle. I'm filled with his light and power. And faith and courage become my companions as well, together with Baba. Oh, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So Baba finds us and then fills us with his powers, and we have to find ourselves then and adjust and cooperate and elaborate on who we really are without rejecting our previous life, because we need to incorporate Baba's Gyan we know. So then I found myself Baba's boat. We are all on the same boat with, the pros and cons and the hurdles and the victories. But Baba also says that, you have to be equal in victory and defeat. So respect and defamation, disrespect. So different things Baba tells us about, and I had to juggle a little bit with bringing things together and finding a deeper meaning of how to use Baba in my life. And I was lucky enough to be open and ready to give tolis and blessing cards, and everything happened so easily. And I have to just be available And because I wasn't perfect, this was all very new to me. I did recognize Baba, and the first words were, "Oh my God!" The first thoughts. So I hadn't uttered the words, the phrase "Oh my God," and that was my first direct words to him. But also, I knew that I have to give the return. And so I started, and here I am, like a yogi to be. Try to offer whatever was possible or needed in the family. Whenever there was something, it was easy to take the chance and just learn by being present and mix up well with the family and everything. So on the next slide, we have the efforts to see how I could bring Baba's knowledge into the field I was serving as a local person. And here we have, it was quite adventurous. I had to be dressed differently, and people were not receptive to listen to meditation or many things about spirituality when I started back in 2006. But there was a good amount of people who knew me. So the two photos you see, dancing is, I returned to the gymnastics and did a commentary with some music, and was trying with Baba to be available for his work, and whoever was lucky enough to listen to the commentary rather than looking at the body and the movement, I thought that's a good thing to start with. Nowadays, they are much more receptive, and there is an interest also in God, because drama is in such a point that people are more and more open to explore the self, strengthen themselves. And the funny thing is that the cloth on the left, if you know the story of Rebecca, is one of the old Baba's clothes. So that was one thing available at that time to use for the dance. And it's a funny thing to bring all the items together and to just remember Baba and go beyond the past stories, be present for his light to reach the world. And the top picture is one in Plato's Academy. It's a visit we had with Brother Anthony when I moved to Athens in 2012. A small group of us went to this Plato's Academy, and that's in fact the stadium where the academy had the stadium for the athletes to practice, and it was of course combined with study about the soul and everything. And there I am as a Brahmin, try to figure out how Baba's knowledge would be more accessible to souls also of this land who are interested in philosophy. Not all of them, but it's an easy way, an entrance point to go a little bit back to the time and to really get to know the real deities and to see if they are deities themselves, they are Baba's children. So it was a nice exploration. I remember those days with love, and it took me some time to gain the trust of the family, because it's I came from another city and I didn't know the people as much, and so it was a nice exploration to see where I am at and to take deeper into to the true self and remove the body consciousness of all this tension we have in sports. It's full of adrenaline and full of expectations for the result, for recognition. And it is spectacular, but it's not always easy. And I wanted to be transparent with Baba and others. I wanted to be the same in and out. In sports, sometimes you have to present that something is easy when it's not. And I'm not a believer of faking until you make it. I believe that it's better you are authentic and you fail, and you'll find the steps on the way. If you are honest, there is no fear of being ridiculed, and it's also fun if you make a mistakes and other laugh, because it's something for them to to be entertained. And so I truly felt that taking the self lightly and not being so serious always helped me in my life. So that was an inner shift I had to do. And the reality is that I wasn't talented in the sport because the body was not so flexible, and that's the priority in this sport for someone to be selected. But with work and patience and willpower, I gained confidence and balanced different inner values with the fitness and with all the other prerequisites of the external game. And so in the Brahmin life also, I had to become more flexible with my intellect and with the way I would perceive things should work out. I realized that I was quite strict with myself. It's a good element to be disciplined, but I had to work with adjustment and being flexible with others. I was attached to the speed with which things should run. I expected a little bit that others would learn to be synchronized and be on time. And Greece is not a country that's known for being organized. So in this way or the other, there was a new call to see how I will place myself towards Baba's Gyan, Baba and his service with his divine family. So in the next slide, we can see the very happy moments, because apart from being so fortunate to be with Baba, each and every one of us, we've had the fortune to meet beautiful people. And this is the top of the souls in the world. And so here on the left picture, we can see it's Daddy Gulzar's visit in Greece. There was a tour in Europe, and it was a great fortune to have her here in this center. And she's with Dendiben there. And on that day, Baba spoke on the Murli about the soul being so tiny, not taking any space. And I've kept that point, and I'm mesmerized by how Baba's points from the Murli can entertain anyone during the day. Because this is not the Murli room, it was a different setup. It's a big living room on the first floor. So that was used for the Murli in those days to economize daddy's energy. And it was really packed, and there was hardly space to cross and reach close to them for this dance to happen. But I said yes. And when they announced that there will be a dance, quite a few thought, and others also said, but where? And I did remember that point, and someone also said it, that the soul doesn't take any space. It was really the soul dancing with the mind in Baba's remembrance, and it was really a very happy moment to be able to offer this to the family. And the other picture with Brother Anthony, this is a picture I'm translating there, one of his talks here in Greece. And what I take from Brother Anthony is his tremendous ability to trust people. I think in this photo must be something like 6-year-old and young. And he trusted soul so much. There was one time when I was translating for him that I was not focused, and the body was tired because different things had to be organized. And sometimes it happens that you have to catch up with things, and the logic work, and sometimes even making tollies, and we are not many. And that was a day that I was tired and not focused. I'm not sure if the photo is from that specific time, but there was a time that I was not focused, and I would miss his words, and eventually he started speaking in Greek. And so he continued with the full talk in Greek. And I was just there practicing detachment and saying it's better that rather than missing his words or delaying the event. And it's better I keep quiet now and be with myself and Baba. And at the end of his talk, he just very quietly came to me, and he said, next week I'm giving another talk. Would you like to translate? He knew I would say yes, because I know it's my fortune to say yes and go on, but within that, I could see the fully generous heart of our brother, and he wanted to make up for my mistake and not good translation, in order to forget the failure. And he would always give many opportunities to souls. And so he did have the option to have other translators, but he wanted to, with Baba and Drama, to work and do this unlimited service of making something wrong, right, and providing the soothness of Baba's bhavna and Baba's healing power to the soul. And here in sweet Madhuban, we had the chance to get so many blessings, be with a wider family, with service companion here. We are with Daddy Gulzar in her cottage, and on the top one, passing the tollies to Hansaben, and then on the top right corner, it's again one of the IYF International Youth Forum meetings where we would all come together and share experiences and work as teams and feel in Baba's cocoon, in this sweet home that's the real home of the soul. And I feel it's like the first object home for the body also. You get so much rest and you get, I feel the purity of the place and where Baba stepped his food and served, and all the daddies and all the family, all the effort makers. I feel this pure energy, in the pores of my body, and it's an amazing place to just breathe in and out, let alone all the other magical experiences that come along. And so there've been many hurdles and crash tests when, for example, Anthony Bai left the body. He did prepare us to some extent. He did say hello to goodbye and goodbye to everyone. So we've been prepared to a good extent, but it's a different thing to face the real thing of such a transition, of such a soul whose yoga power was very strong and was reaching out different places of Greece. And so also the after effects of that have been, finding myself being left with the baby and with people I didn't know so well. I didn't know the Athens family so well. And one brother I knew later didn't manage to go on. So everything became too big and too emotional for me. And the Yagya did help, and I did get the support of gentlemen, but with the trap of the sanskara, the savior sanskara, or sensitive sanskara, I would absorb the sorrow of other souls also. And as a family, I feel we're a very brave family, having to still let go of some issues from the past. But Baba is there, and Anthony's subtle presence is also there. And I was wondering how and why and what, and all these big question marks were there on my head, taking space, and I could not master the art of putting a full stop for quite a long time. So it was a reality check for me that I was not strong enough, and that I was not a super champion anymore. And so it was good for me to learn more about humility and to find out more about the self. And I had one question: how come all the people I trust leave the body or leave Gyan? And the answer that came in silence after some time was that was for me to trust myself more. And one experience in Madhuban, one time in Baba's room, the very actual original Baba's room, was from Baba that I have complete trust in you. It was such a big thing, this experience, that I felt, okay, that's a very big dose of Baba's energy, and I need to exit the room to start absorbing and reflecting further and see how can I take this into action back with me. So it was quite an interesting period after Anthony Bai left the body, but he trained us very well in remembering just Baba and knowing who is making us, who made him an instrument, who makes us instruments. So it was a good focus point to reorient myself again and again. And yeah, Baba and Drama put everything right. At some point, I need to just let things be as they are to a good extent. And so in the next slide, we can meditate on my favorite actually point. That's Bhagavan what God speaks. Because it is Baba who gives the direction, and it is Baba who brings us together, and it is Baba who finds us. And so it's all Baba. And when we focus on his Murli and his loving energy, we can see also others as he sees them. So let us go in. And as we keep the eyes open, let me keep the mind open and the intellect far-sighted to grasp and to deepen my faith in Baba speaking to me. Every day, Baba provides his Murli, his jewels of knowledge, a gift for the soul. Baba also provides touchings. Can I touch them? Let me be with Baba and be aware Baba's light, power, and knowledge will always be reaching me. I'm holding Baba's hand of Srimad, and I just remember my favorite point, the point he stroked my heart with. Let me open my heart with this point. Baba spoke to me this point. I am taken I am pulled by him in his home. It's also my home. Me and Baba point to point. In his sweet, sacred silence. I allow myself to be with Baba. Baba also speaks through silence. Now we can come back into action with Baba. So the final phase, what to do with all of that? We have to, speaking for myself, I have to excel all Baba's gifts for the soul, because it's really now or never. And the aim is to consciously increasing soul consciousness and God consciousness in the way Maureen Ben shared during the global body, how to be available and a clean instrument for Baba to pull me in the Videhi states. I need to be quick with my intellect and to divinize it rather than being driven from the outside. So on the next slide, there are some steps I realized after the phase of being left with myself amidst very different and several duties. So I had to learn the hard way, but drama is perfect, and what I realized is that from an attitude of a savior, I had to move to the attitude of an image, not to overestimate or overanalyze the situation, not to make extra effort and struggle, but to be really disciplined with Baba's disciplines and the timetable and the balance of karma and yoga. And then I also had to be soul conscious, because the very first magical experiences were gifts of Baba, and it's not that I lost the experiences, but I had to make them like we do with knowledge, to make knowledge, to digest it and made it our own. I had to consciously create the soul conscious states and not to expect from Baba to give it to me quite often, because I was a good effort maker. Now I had to work on myself and build states and be even more resilient so I don't waste time. And the last one is from a drama queen, because we can be very dramatic, and I was trained to be dramatic in gymnastics. And I had to be the carefree emperor. I had to learn, and I'm still in process and in this faith and opening up the heart more rather than the head. That's truly we are master drama creators, and that was useful, but now it's not my support anymore. And in the next slide, we have this beautiful example Brother Anthony would speak about, and it's in one of his books also, the pole vault, that you do have the support, you do need to use the pole to do this high jump, but then you need to leave it and continue without the support. And in this way, I understand that quite a few things helped me in the transition from the Lockic life to Brahmin life, and other things in Brahmin life, or another transition, because the family had to work very differently in teams after Brother Anthony flew to Baba. And so I had to let go of certain patterns and ways of working to be more useful for Baba's service. And in this example, I also find that you see there is a detail about the takeoff box. That's quite important. I feel that the pole can be Gyan, and the takeoff box is the drama, the physical dimension, because we also have to use the facilities and the physical world for Baba service. We cannot be, far beyond somewhere or find a cave and meditate only. So we really do have to use a takeoff box, and that's the use of the drama that's necessary. If you have this box without the pole and you don't see it, you're not aware of it, you may stumble, you may fall, you may have a serious accident. But in this case, it serves a purpose, and the purpose is to really go beyond, and then we see a certain point when we are free. And I could say that when we leave the pole, then we are so beyond. That's really, in a way, it's like we are in nirvana, and then we cross the end of the cycle, and we can fall easily, and like the soul descends to the coordinates. I feel that's the effortless states we need to achieve now for everything to be more smooth in our efforts, and for giving the return. I do feel I need to give the return still of all the amazingly powerful experiences from Madhuban, from the seniors, and things do get a little bit difficult sometimes, and yet the fortune of the soul is there ready to flourish. So more or less this is it. The next slide is about the timing again, Kal, and when to remember to die. That's it, to have the also Baba as Mahakal helping us, killing with his sakas our false identities. And the next slide is Baba's ways and myths are unique. That's a beautiful phrase. And things that have helped me a lot is chart and diary, or at least diary, or some mark, or some good night to Baba, and many blessings that have supported the soul, blessings from the daddies. And, these are words that stay forever, but also it's the blessings we collect, we accumulate when we are in this incognito service with the thoughts. And, the left one is with Daddy Janki in Barcelona, in the regional meeting of Europe. We had 3 years back. That was the last regional meeting before COVID. And the last time I met Daddy, in fact. And she once told me that never put any human being between you and Baba. And it was a time when a very close service companion with whom we came together in Gyan had changed the lifestyle. And he was, in fact, a brother who gave me the leaflet of Baba also when I was looking for Hatha Yoga. And so it was a beautiful blessing I cherish. And it wasn't just for him, it was, of course, for anyone, any phase of my life. And that helps me a lot when I remember it to bridge gaps and to work more on the pure feelings. And the one with Daddy Gulzar to the right is from her visit in Athens Center. But once in Madhuban, I think, yes, it was the last time I also met her. We were 3 of us, and we went in front of Daddy, and she was so subtle and silent. The sister asked her, "Do you wish to say something to us?" And what she said was that you are here now because you have faced many things. So I share this with you because whatever the daddies say, like Baba, it's for all of us. So it gives courage to the soul to know that if I face something and it's a little bit tough, it's okay. And Zediben once also told me that no one can take your fortune away. It will manifest in a different way. So be it service, be it something I have to renounce, we don't need to worry about our fortune. It will manifest. It's there. And now we can meditate on it is number wise, because I find myself that I forget this point whenever I go extroverted, and I forget the virtues and specialities of others. And this helps me to put the full stop or quietly return to states closer to the Sato states or Shadopradhan states. So let me sit quietly and remind myself I am the soul. I am a victorious soul. I trust myself. Because I have experience from Baba I am unique. Everyone is unique. No two actors can be the same in this drama. In this journey, we are all so special in different ways. And Baba is the number one, the principal actor. Let me see the creation through his eyes. Let me focus on what Baba sees in me. With one thought, one powerful thought, I receive Bab Dada's Tristi. And I hold it. I hold it sacredly in front of me. I allow myself to feel equal to Baba. I am combined. Nothing else matters. All the rest are just side scenes. I take Bab Dada's Tristi with me and share it with the world. Oh, Shanti. So in Baba's eyes, we are all Mahavirs and Mahavirnis. And this is a photo from an exhibition, an international exhibition that was held at some point in the northern Greece. And it was opposite the office I work in. I went there running when I noticed this giant elephant. India was the guest country, and that was to honor India. So I climbed up, and the rest is history. But it's a powerful point to remember that we are Mahavirs and Mahavirnis. Go just beyond, cross, and go above obstacles. Om Shanti, if there are any questions.
Thank you, Maria Pan. It's so beautiful. Especially as you were sharing, it was we can feel the tone of Anthony Pai. He was very soothing. He's very pleasant, um, very healing. Like it's like all his commentaries, a lot of deep gyan, but at the same time, it is very healing. Thank you for sharing your journey. And if anyone have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask. So until then, I have a quick question on a couple of things. So in the how you're preparing for the final phases that is happening, and one of the points that you have is learning to take the touching power, to learning to pick the signals. Could you elaborate a little bit more on, as the world is transitioning, and what is the practice that you're doing, or some of the experiences that you had, the subtle touchings that, oh, this is what we should be doing, or some guidance coming from Baba or some ancestor souls telling like, okay, guiding us, and then you're very subtle enough as a pure instrument, just allowing the touching and then acting on those touchings. Can you share some of the examples, or what is that we should do?
I feel one step is to have the faith that it will come, because in my case, it doesn't come always during the meditation. It can come at the funniest moment during the day, when I'm driving, or when I'm walking, or when I have a slight, break from the full action. And I am prepared. I hold the pen and paper, or I write it on my mobile if I don't have a pen and paper. Normally, nowadays we have a mobile there. Baba spoke on honesty, and I feel that's the whole thing, to be ready to put in action the signal. It's then when it will come. Otherwise, I feel I'll be in a dilemma whenever I don't have the faith that it will come, and Baba is available, and Baba is with me, and I'm here for Baba and his task and not for myself. If I'm not creating a clear space, the touching will not come. Or if it comes, I will neglect it. I will have the doubts that it's maybe my manmat, or I have to wait and I will lose the opportunity, or I will think that I will have to cross-check with some instrument, and a lot of time is wasted. Also, another way is to not to just go home, but really feel allow the self to be colored by Bab Dada's Dristi. Because Brahma Baba has this magic and the experience from the way the things work in the physical dimension, and yet he's combined. Sif Baba, we cannot separate them. So it's this double engine, the faith in the double engine, that will do the work. And the whole thing is about using the drills instantly. Whenever I have time, I try as much as possible to do the drill. to go home in 1 second and subtle regions and receive from Babdada and then transfer this, then try not to keep the feet on the ground, because then it's very easy to become gross or to be more in the Raja states. And I do remember very, very powerfully Daddy Janki had said once that when we are in the Raja states, we can't discern it. And then it's like a domino effect. We can go even to Tamu states. So the whole thing is to pay attention also during the day, that I will keep the self in a quite good state, not to get extroverted from anything.
If anyone have any questions, feel free to unmute. And I have another question on this part. So if you see, I always used to meditate on this aspect with Anthony. We always talks about pole vaulting, where if I see this as my Brahmin life, pole vaulting as my Brahmin life, running through it. So I had to pick up. Initially, you understand Gyan. It's like, wow, this is amazing. This is what I'm looking for, and you go full force, and then some test paper will come, and that is what you hit that takeoff box. If I use the test paper and then allow myself to hold tight to the Gyan, the very pole that I'm running with, I have to hold it so tight, and then the drama will launch me into my next stage. And I have to use my own weight. I have to pull my own weight at that time. And after a point, that momentum, whatever we have built during the phase one, the step one, building relationship with Murli, building relationship, taking support from Amritvela. And when the drama hits and then we start talking about Murli, Amritvela, it will not work. So I have to prepare myself, train myself, how to take strength from Baba at Amritvela, how to take love from Murli, how to take support from Dadis, and how to take support from the Avyakt family. And all of that initially will help us and then launch to a certain stage. And then after a point, once the drama hits, it's up to you. And whatever you have experienced, you have to use pull your own weight all the way up. And very experienced, personal experience, you have to let go. So if you can elaborate a little bit on some of your personal experiences in number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know there are few of those, like Anthony Bai leaving, whole family in the center, one after another dissolving by drama or things. I can understand that you have to pull your own weight, and then you and Baba is the only one in your life. But before that, what are the things that helped you to build that thing? Definitely Dadi's help, Dadi's blessings helps, Madhuban trips helps, and things like that. Like, can you elaborate a little bit more on how can the newcomers can build that support and inner power and have full faith that because drama is going to come to a real halt. So you have to launch now.
Yes, definitely. I think the phase with the number 1 is that you run, you found your joy, you knowledge Baba, and you're very enthusiastic. Then you need to, on the second phase, I had to make some effort. For example, when I moved to Athens, but then the number 3 could be taking really the support of the family and having Baba, Murli, and Madhuban rotating in my mind. And then when Anthony passed, I found myself on number 4. But I knew there's no way back because it would be quite embarrassing, and it was not my choice to leave. I was also supported a lot from my vows. The first promises we give to Baba when we come, we remember those things. That's why Baba tells us to remember our childhood. It's not that it is always easy, but the childhood, some had difficult Brahmin birth. But then on number 4, you know that you are already experienced enough. You're not flying, but you know the know-how. And so then it's when you just have to, of course, to use your own weight, as you said, in terms of now I need to surrender more. We need that when there is a struggle, there is a burden, we don't hold tight enough Baba's hand. Baba says when you're insulted, there is arrogance. So I think 4 is the phase where you see yourself better because you've left the ground, but you're not flying yet. And Brother Anthony would say that we will use the example of the flying. Am I a flying bird or I'm a chicken or a frog? That they think they fly and they just, jump here and there. So number 4 is for me to take further decisions on how deep I want to go in my relationship with Baba and in my relationship with drama. And I often sometimes speak to the drama. I know it's not an entity, but it is a compilation of all the possibilities that are available there, including Baba, because drama is a drama, and Baba has a very specific role to support eternity. So number 5, it's this phase that I want to be authentic. I wanted to be authentic within all of that. I didn't want to be blindly obedient. Okay, Haji, but I had to also see my limitations and to what extent I can support myself without exhausting, for example, the self physically, without compromising Amrit Vela because I followed something someone instructed me. And I gave more importance to the instruction and less importance to the study to keep the intellect fresh. So there in number 5, I was a little bit lost, but in a good way also. Because I could see what I can't do and what I truly need to do to be with Baba. And then through this one step of courage and honesty, and I go to number 6, where it's the phase of being in teams and managing my dharna. It was not a struggle to be in teams or to be with myself and Baba, to bring Baba's energy with me in the team. And then you see that the weight of the body is going to the other direction. What Baba tells us to transfer your luggages. And that number 6, I feel it's the inculcation of the divine virtues. It's the subtle moment where you have to be extremely careful and light and very diligent with crossing the element. So there on number 6 is the subtle dharna, and then 7 and onwards is what Baba tells that service manifests automatically. If the dharna is successful and accurate, then the rest will follow, and it's smooth and easy, and there is no struggle with people or the self.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I always wanted to hear different versions of this thing. This always helps. If anyone have any questions or comments, Sangamitra, if you want to ask any questions, feel free to unmute, and thank you very much for this beautiful session. And we definitely enjoy being in your company and bringing Baba's energy and bringing his brother Anthony's energy into this place. And we definitely see you all tomorrow morning at Amrit Vela. Have a beautiful rest of the evening. Thank you, Sister Maria. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for the time and hospitality, and all the best wishes to all.
Thank
And good night to most of you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. That was wonderful.
Thank you. Om Shanti. Good night.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, angels.
Thank you.